Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Leland Free Evangelical Church. Today's blessing is about how to let the Loigor into your hearts. So welcome to Hell in Texas.
Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of Descent into Madness. Today we are going to be playing Hell in Texas. We're going to try something different this time. I feel like I always prevent my sacrifices with, well, an unfair roll of the dice. So this time I wanted to provide something for you all to be able to use while we play this game. I'm going to give each of you one of these cards. Just place it right in front of you. Can you hand him this as well? And there's one for you as well too. These cards are a one-time use. At any point, if you would like to use that card, just simply hold it up. What that card is used for is that you can, out of character, ask me, the keeper, a question that you have burning to know about. Whether you're curious about whether someone is lying to you, or you just need to know what is actually going on, you can use that card. However, it is a quid pro quo. Whatever you decide to ask me for, I will make a deal with you that might affect your character. You can also use it for various other means. Stopping a bout of madness, keeping your character from dying, or maybe something else more unfortunate that I might have planned for you. When you use it once, it's gone. So use it wisely. But remember, everything comes at a cost. Let's begin. We start in Leland, Texas. It's a hot mid-October day, roughly a week before Halloween. Today is not a happy day. It is a somber day, as most of the community is joined at the Leland Free Evangelical Church's graveyard. They are there for a funeral for Kelly Landrum. As people are sitting there towards the pulpit, there is obviously the casket where Kelly is in currently, and most of the people around are very somber, but they see Pastor Weaver stand up and approach the pulpit, takes out a piece of paper, and begins to speak. Friends, family, members of our community, we gather today with heavy hearts to say goodbye to Kelly Landrum. Kelly was a fixture in this church, a testament to the power of faith and resilience. For years, we watched her battle her demons, the alcohol and the drugs. And for years, she found strength in the Lord and in this community. She served in the soup kitchen. She mentored others struggling with addiction. And she shared her testimony with unwavering honesty. Kelly was a beacon of hope, showing us all that a person can truly change, can truly rise above their past mistakes, and live a life dedicated to service and grace. She was valued here. She was loved, and her loss leaves a hole in her congregation that will not easily be filled. Kind of takes a minute to let that settle in, looking over all of who is in attendance at this funeral before finishing up. Yet, we must speak the truth, even when it is painful. While we celebrate that the life she lived was for the Lord, we cannot ignore the selfish act that ended it. Suicide is a sin, a choice that denies the gift of life and the possibility of future repentance and service. Kelly knew the peace of God. She knew the love surrounding her, and still, she chose to inflict this irreversible pain upon all of us who cared for her. You see some of the people at the funeral are kind of murmuring to each other. Some are kind of shaking their head in acceptance, but there are others who are kind of like, where is he going with this? I don't understand. She walked away from her responsibilities, from the people who needed her testimony, and from the second chance God had so clearly given her. May her passing serve as a stark reminder that even the strongest among us can falter, and that we must pray for the strength to reject such a selfish temptation. The murmurings get louder at this point. Some people were kind of accepting of what he's saying, but then you can see some people who, and even towards the back, they're so uncomfortable of the second part of his speech that they've kind of gotten up and are starting to walk away, kind of shaking their heads at what was just said. And you can see Pastor Ted Weaver kind of look up and look around at people, and he goes, but on a lighter note, I would just like to add that in a week, something that Kelly, I know, worked very hard on, and to better celebrate her, I hope that I will see each and every one of you at our Hell House. This is a big part of our community. And even as he says that, he gets cut off from the back. This is horse shit. A man jumps up, and it's Mitch Landrum, Kelly's father. The hell do you think you're doing saying something like that at my daughter's funeral? Look, Mr. Landrum, I'm sorry, but, you know, I have to say what needs to be said. It doesn't matter. How can you say that about my daughter? There's no way she would have done something like that to herself. Sitting next to Mitch in the crowd is Ollie, one of his closest friends over the last couple years that's been very helpful around the church. Ollie, you see your friend jump up, and he's basically just starting to get more mad at what the Reverend has just said in this speech.
So I'd like to tell Mitch that, you know, it's not the time. Settle down.
Ollie, it doesn't matter, all right? He can't be saying stuff like that, saying something about how she did a selfish act. She wouldn't have done something like this. You know Kelly better than anyone.
Yeah, well, it's just not a good time here in public. People are on your side.
And you see over, so where Pastor Weaver is talking at this pulpit, you can see some chairs of other people who probably talked at the funeral itself, and you could see his little brother, who's the sheriff of the town, is kind of like sitting up a little more, looking at your buddy Mitch, and he's kind of like, he already has his hand on his gun for some reason, and he just kind of speaks up and he goes, yeah, maybe you should listen to your friend Mitch. Might not be the best idea to be causing a ruffle again. Speaking on your past. And you can see other people, as well as a deputy that's not even sitting 2 other chairs away, is kind of looking at the sheriff like that was a little inappropriate to say. And Mitch is still getting upset, and he's starting to make his way towards the pulpit where the Reverend is. What would you like to do?
Like to grab him and escort him out of the church.
Okay. I'm going to have you roll for strength.
Okay.
And he's going to try to oppose you, because he's very upset, and he probably is looking to punch this Reverend in the face for what he said. Yep. What did you roll?
I got a 6.
Okay. He got a 23, so you succeeded even better than him. He kind of gives you a little bit of a fight, but then when he can see that you're doing it in like a calming manner, but trying to like ease him out of the crowd, he starts to calm down a little bit more, and he just looks at you and goes, Ollie, I'm sorry. It's just, you know that was inappropriate, right? Why would he say something like that?
He's just saying what he thinks his dogma is.
But to somebody's daughter,
It was inappropriate. People know it was inappropriate.
It's regardless of the fact if it is I'm so sick and tired of him and his brother running this town. I mean, you saw how his brother reacted. He's already reaching for his gun, and all I did was speak out.
And what do you think's gonna what do you think's gonna happen to you? You think he's also got the balls to shoot you in front of an entire church of people?
All right, yeah, you're right, Ollie. Let's just go over to the meeting hall and let's just get something to eat. I know they're probably cooking the food and stuff for the funeral. And he starts to make his way over to the church, to basically the basement area where they have this like meeting hall at. Where obviously everyone else is starting to, because the pastor has concluded the funeral at this point because of the kerfuffle, and you can see people begin to rise up out of their chairs and they're starting to make their way to the church. In particular, one of the heads of different committees, Lauren Crawley, is kind of telling people like, hey, we have food, please feel free to come help yourself to anything. And people are starting to head towards the basement. You see your boss, the sheriff, who acted inappropriately. He's kind of starting to stand up as well too, and he's about to make his way through, and he looks at you and he goes, Martinez, I need you to do something for me. I want you to keep an eye on Mitch. That little outburst right there could have gone real bad. And if he does anything again, you make sure you lock him up. I'll handle the paperwork.
I'll look into it.
It's ridiculous. I can't believe that stupid drunkard would speak up against my brother. He said nothing wrong.
I just think he's a little mourning. He's just probably having a hard time. I let him be a little bit, but I'll keep an eye on him.
Just, if he does anything, just let me know. Right?
You got it, Sheriff.
And he starts to walk over to his brother, Pastor Weaver. And as people are starting to congregate towards the hall in the basement of this church, there's one other person who's been kind of standing back away, maybe a couple gravestones away, that's kind of been watching everything that's going on. And Sarah, you've kind of seen this whole event unfold. Is there anything in particular you would like to do?
I want people to know the truth. That's what I want. I want to tell somebody what I know. Because I know that Kelly's death was not a suicide. I know it.
You see people start to make their way to the gathering hall, and you can see that Mitch Landrum has already gone inside. Ollie has as well. And you can see the deputy kind of waiting a little bit and then following behind. And he's the last of the people. Do you want to go talk to him?
I do, but I'm not sure if I can trust him.
Okay. So you follow behind everyone else and you make your way into this gathering hall or meeting hall, whatever they like to call it, depending on the church. It's essentially just this big, long, large room, couple of tables set up. They obviously have some, food set up, maybe fried chicken, whatever sides that would go with something like this, various drinks. There's obviously a bunch of different bouquets of flowers that have been sent by people for Kelly, for the funeral itself, that are all around the hall. It's a couple photos of her in her happiest moments. You can definitely see some photos with Mitch, as well as some from her high school days. And even you see a couple of photos from back in the early school days of you being around her in the same group of people. And as you start to see this, memories start to flood back of your time with her. before the drugs and the alcohol got to her. But over the last 2 years, you managed to finally reconnect with her and talk again about good past times and times where she felt like she messed up with you. And as you do, you see Mitch kind of sitting over at a table kind of by himself. Ollie has obviously probably left to go get like a plate of food or something. And he's kind of sitting there just festering to himself while he's sitting there. I cannot believe he would say something like that. All he cares about is this stupid hell house. I can't believe this crap.
Mr. Landrum, I just wanted to say my deepest condolence. That, I'd take some time and just lay low for a little bit. I think the town is very upset with what happened to Kelly, and I don't want anything to happen to you either.
Thank you, Deputy. I just wish that they would just be more considerate of my situation. And I just wish they weren't so quick to just rush this whole thing to a suicide. I mean, who would do something like that to themselves? Who would cut their own throat?
I don't know, sir. But Kelly's death is a tragedy, and I don't want you to make any rash decisions and have a whole lot of stuff brought down upon you that doesn't need to be here.
I'm not going to make a rash decision, but if he says something inappropriate like that again, I swear to God, I'm going to sock him in his face.
Just make sure his brother ain't there when you do it.
And he kind of smirks at you a little bit as you say that. And he stands up, and you can see Mitch kind of stand up with the deputy and kind of shake his hand, kind of put his hand on his shoulder as he walks over to Ollie, who's obviously over probably getting a plate of food. Ollie, is there anything that you would like to do, or anyone that you want to talk to as you kind of finish up getting like a plate of food?
I mean, I just want to get a little grub and make sure that Mitch doesn't get in another kerfluffle. He can't afford it.
As you start to make your way back to the table that you and Mitch are sitting at, all of a sudden you see the woman who was kind of guiding people from the funeral in the first place, Lauren Crawley, kind of like stands in front of you in your way, and she kind of goes, "Oh, Ollie, I'm so glad I caught you. Here, I know this might not be the best time, but I wanted to ask you, we need your help. We need your help at the house today. There's this problem with the electricity, as well as I think one of the sets is falling down. Look, I know that you normally would take payment for something like this, but for the church, could you please come to the house today and help us repair some things? We badly need your handiwork."
I mean, they can't wait. This is the funeral.
I only bring it up now because we still have a week left and there's still so much to do. And
with a week, I could come tomorrow.
What?
It's a lot to ask somebody to go work on a hell house right after a funeral.
Look, we have so much left to do to get this repaired. And, Pastor Weaver has just been asking so much of us. And look, Ollie, if it will help, I can pull some funds to be able to pay you for your work, if you can just come by today.
If it helps.
Can you do me a favor? Can you do a spot hidden roll for me, please, as you're looking at her?
88.
And what's your spot hidden?
65.
Okay, so you notice that she kind of is wincing a little bit as she's saying things to you, and you kind of notice that she definitely has some like bags under her eyes, but other than that, it's pretty much she's just kind of like giving you a hug almost without you even asking for it, and she's like, "Please, thank you so much, okay? We can pay you if you can just come by today, all right? I know your normal rate is what, $50 an hour? Would that be okay?"
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Okay, thank you, Ollie. Thank you so very much. And she kind of walks away from you, in a more joyous occasion. As you were kind of entering into the hall more, maybe you start to kind of walk over to the table and get some food and stuff and sit down. You're not sitting too far away from where the pastor and his brother, as well as one of his other deputies, are sitting at, and they're eating, and you can hear them talking about the Hell House itself. Can you give me a listen roll, please, while you're sitting there?
I rolled a 63.
Okay, and what is your listen at?
I failed. 55.
As you're sitting there, there's you can hear the pastor kind of talking about the same things that he did in his little announcement towards the end of his speech, where he's just kind of like, we've got to look, share, brother, I need you to do the best you can to get as many people to this hell house as possible. Okay. We've got to make a good profit on this. And his brother is just like, I can do everything I can. You know me, I'll pull my weight if I have to. I practically run this town at this point. And him and his brother kind of still talk, but then there's like a moment where they speak very low to each other about something. And you can see him kind of point towards the direction of the hallway and insinuates, you kind of catch offhandedly maybe the word office, but you're not too sure because you weren't able to pick up on it. But he kind of is pointing at something, and the sheriff, kind of looking around to see if anybody else can hear them, is agreeing with him. And he kind of, the pastor speaks back up and he goes, look, just brother, go take your deputies, go over to the Hell House, make sure we keep an eye on things, make sure nobody's talking about what happened, okay? We've got to keep control of this. And the sheriff sits there and looks at his older brother and he goes, yeah, I got it. I was gonna have Martinez handle it today. He was gonna be on security duty. And you see the sheriff kind of lean back in his chair and he looks over and he makes eye contact with you and he kind of waves his hand at you.
I walk over. Okay. Yeah, boss.
Need you to go over with Johnson over to the Hell House. Keep an eye on things. Make sure nobody's poking their nose in anything that they shouldn't. And, generally just make sure everybody's doing all right over there at the house, okay? We don't need another situation like what happened to Miss Landrum. Can you give me a psychology roll, please?
I got a 82 and it was 41.
Okay. So he just kind of looks at you stone-faced. Just keep an eye on things. If anything, you radio into me if you notice any issues whatsoever, okay? I need you over there today.
Yes, sir. I was going to stop by the precinct before I head over. I left some few things in my locker I'd like to grab.
All right, fine. As long as you make it there on time, I don't care. Just get there, okay? And he kind of sits back and he goes back to eating his food, basically dismissing you from this. What would you like to do?
I'd like to sneak past everyone and go see what's in that office.
Okay. Can you give me a stealth roll, please?
I rolled a 7.
Okay, so extreme success. Wow. You managed to kind of use the crowd of people to your advantage, because some people are obviously, they have to use like the bathroom and stuff, and there's no bathroom in the meeting hall. They would have to go through the door that the pastor was talking about to go into the church more. So you kind of follow along with like maybe a group of people, but then as you get up to the bathroom, you kind of adjacently make a different way, and you're very easily in a separate hallway. And there's only one or two other doors. There's like the secretary's office, and then there's one door that clearly has a gold plaque on it that says Pastor Ted Weaver.
Oh, I'm getting in Pastor's office.
You go into the pastor's office, and it's pretty simple and clean as you step into it. There's obviously a desk, some ornate religious iconography is on the table itself. On the desk itself, like where he would be sitting, you see that there is like a book and a piece of paper that's just sitting right there. And then over to your left, you can see a filing cabinet. And then just basically maybe a couple like office plants sitting in there.
I know this son of a bitch has something hiding in here. He's way less than holy. Just doesn't seem right. I'm gonna look in the file cabinet. Let's see what he has in here.
As you open the file cabinets and you start to look through everything, you notice that some of it is just basic paperwork as far as like church memberships go, or maybe like future plans. And then you find financial paperwork. Once you find the financial paperwork, I want you to give me an accounting roll, please.
Got it. I knew he was hiding something.
Is that a 1?
That is a 7 again.
Oh my god. You are looking through the numbers for the church. And as you're looking at the church memberships, you notice that slowly over time, especially the past like 2-3 years, you can clearly see that membership in the church has started to dwindle. It's falling at a pretty rapid pace. And you can kind of insinuate, because not too far away in a much larger town, there's a brand new mega church that was built. It's one of those big glass ornate sanctuaries. They have a bunch of recreational facilities and so forth. And you can see some notes from Pastor Weaver where he's clearly upset about the fact that his membership is falling. But then when you start looking at the numbers, the financial paperwork, you start to see that the house that was purchased for the Hell House is the Angerstein house. And that him and his brother have invested a lot of money into this house. So much so that you can insinuate that if they were to not make this a financial success, like an entertainment spot, that they would lose out on a lot of money.
I'd like to take this.
Yep. Do you want to look at anything else? There's also a book sitting on the desk and some papers.
Wait a minute. What's that under his glass?
You start to look over at the desk where he has this glass sitting on some papers, and the book that's sitting next to it is from a different pastor, and it's basically, the book is called The Passover Angel and How We Must Accept the End of the World. You open up the book and you kind of begin to read some of the excerpts from the book, and at first, it's basically talking about some points of Christianity, talking about the end of the world and how we should be joyous of it. But this pastor is more or less talking about speeding it up, and that they believe that they have found something that might be able to quicken things. But when you look over at the paperwork that's next to it, you see a letter written from Weaver where he's denouncing everything that this pastor is saying. He's kind of saying that all of this stuff that he's written is just ridiculous. None of this exists. And if there was any sort of ritual, that it wouldn't make any sense as far as the Bible goes.
Someone's coming. I gotta get out of here.
And you leave. Pause. You are beginning to walk towards your patrol car, and you can see Mitch is starting to come out of the gathering hall with Ollie. Ollie, what would you like to do? Is you can clearly see Mitch is kind of like starting to talk to you about, I'm just gonna go home. All right, I'll just be at the trailer. Are you going to that house today?
Yeah, I'm going over to it.
Fine. Just be careful over there. All right.
It's, it's just like a silly haunted house.
Something did something to her, and something obviously is there at that house, and I don't trust it. And as your friend, I just want you to be careful, okay?
All right, Mitch, you take care of yourself. Don't wander off. Don't get drunk.
He kind of looks down as you say that, and he's just kind of, you know I wouldn't.
All right, well, I love you. You want to pray?
Yeah, I do. And he kind of takes your hands. What do you want to pray?
Dear Lord, look over our friend Mitch, our brother. Protect him in his time of need and give him strength. Amen.
Amen. And you see Mitch kind of give you like a hug out of nowhere, and then he shakes your hand and he goes, "You've been a good friend, Ollie. If you need anything, you know where I'm at." And he walks away over to his truck, and you see it start up and start to head off as you are coming out of the hall as well too, and you kind of see this whole thing play out. What would you like to do?
I'll go walk over to Ollie. How's he holding up?
He could use a friend.
I think you're it.
You mind keeping an eye on him, or?
Yeah, I don't want the sheriff to be on his back a little too much here.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry about the kerfluffle earlier.
It's not your fault. I wouldn't take anything of it.
Everything all right?
Yeah, I think so. I gotta go to that stupid house.
Yeah, I'm going over there too.
Oh, no kidding. What are you doing over there?
I gotta go work on the place.
Yeah, I heard it's falling apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just wanted me to keep the riffraff out of there, and I don't understand it. Something about that place doesn't make me feel good. It's weird that a church is so bent on a hell house instead of like a gospel house, or why
Well, you know what they are, right?
No.
Okay. Well,
I'm Catholic. I'm sorry. I'm not used to this.
it's it's they bring the kids through it, and they go through a heaven-hell experience.
Oh, it's like a Scared Straight kind of thing?
Yeah, it's exactly like a Scared Straight program.
Right.
Like a neighborhood thing put up by a usually Baptist church, I think. These guys, I don't know if they're snake handlers, but there's something strange going on with this pastor. I don't believe that when you kill yourself, you go to hell.
I've always stayed pretty clear of them. They don't like Catholics too much around here. But Ollie,
nobody likes Catholics around these parts.
You be careful over there. I'll see you there.
You hear anything weird around there, it's probably the speaker system. They make announcements like, Billy, Jane. They know everything about you when you walk through there.
Okay.
It's all about saving your soul from eternal damnation.
That's sick. That's weird. I'll see you around, Ollie.
I don't know if it's sick. It's meant to be like wholesome. Meant to be.
How is it wholesome if you're... Shouldn't you just want to follow the Lord for your own faith and do good and not be scared to do it?
Yeah. That's what a true Jesus follower
Yeah,
really
I feel
is,
like if you're scared to do it, that's kind of sick.
All right, I see your point, Deputy. see your point. Well, I got to get over there in my Ford Bronco.
Is that the new one?
Yeah, it's the new one. I took all the doors and the top off.
Oh, looks nice.
Yeah, I like the air whisking past me as I drive.
All right. Keep it under 100.
You got it. Yeah, I try not to drive too fast in one of those type of vehicles. You might flip it.
Yeah.
And I don't like to wear a seatbelt.
Oh, why are you telling me this? I'm a cop.
And tell people a lot of things.
Yeah, well, why don't you put your seatbelt on, and I'll see you over at the Hell House. I'll see you around, Ollie.
I'll talk to you later.
So you see him walk away. He gets into his Ford Bronco and takes off into the, heading towards the house itself. You walk over to your police vehicle and step into it. Pause for a minute. What are you doing? Are you heading back to the meeting hall? How are you leaving this office?
So I've scurried out, and I've managed to do it without anybody seeing me. Now, my plan is to just make a quick exit and get back to my car, because I need to take several screenshots of all the information that I have.
As you're making your way through the meeting hall, you're doing a good job. You're kind of navigating around, but you can definitely see that the sheriff and the pastor are kind of like getting up to head away to wherever that they're going to head to. But as you kind of are so focused on them, you don't even notice the person that's in front of you, and you kind of run into them, and they kind of just, oh my gosh. And you recognize immediately that this is Lauren Crawley, and she kind of stops and looks at you. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't see you there. I haven't ever seen you before. Where do you live at exactly in town?
Just around, I'm just, saw the funeral procession come through, and I just wanted to pay my respects. I'm not really from around here.
Okay, welcome to the church. We always have service on Sunday. It would be a great thing that would be helpful and get you more involved with the community, is we could really use your help at the Hell House.
That's a great offer. I've got to go. It's been a really tough day for everyone, and I think it's best that I just go.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, it's always open. We're always looking for volunteers. If you would like, we could maybe offer some form of payment if you'd be willing to help us. I know always doing free work can be difficult, but I'm not trying to be too pushy about it. It's just we have some things that we're still trying to get prepared, and I know this is a lot today with the funeral, and you can see her kind of like talking so rapidly and so fast.
You know what? I'd love to. I can stop by maybe sometime later. Kind of been on hiatus from work anyway, so I'm looking for...
Oh my gosh, it's so great. And she takes your hand and shakes it, and then she kind of scribbles something on a paper to give you directions to the house. She goes, oh my gosh, okay, I will be there in an hour. I cannot wait to see you there. We'll definitely be able to use you. And even before you can say anything back, she just beelines it over to another group of people.
Well, at least I know where to find these fucks.
Pause. Ollie, you are making your way down the road, and it's not too long. You know the town. You've lived here long enough that you know this house that they've situated this creation at. It's the old Angerstein house. It's obviously has a messed up history of, there was like a murder that was happening there way back in the early 30s. Nothing had ever occurred with it. They never arrested anyone. It was just a weird situation that occurred at the house. But ever since then, it's been left completely abandoned. And sometimes the sheriff and some of the deputies have had to clear some vagrants from it from time to time. But ever since the church has taken over this house, let alone like about a month and a half ago, it definitely looks completely different than what you've ever seen it driving past it in town. You can obviously see as you drive up that there's a large tent that's in the back of the house itself. And it's about a 2-story building, but you can definitely see what looks to be like attic windows poking out from underneath the different arches of the roof itself. And you can see church members walking in and out and around the house itself. Some are, painting the house or, working on the walling on the outside. And as you park and step out of your truck, you can clearly hear what sounds like machinery and stuff within the house itself.
Well, I'm very curious why they needed my help so badly. If they have a bunch of other people working on this place with big machinery and things like that on the inside.
It's not long as you step out of your car and you realize all of this that somebody comes, literally opens the door and sprints down, and you see a younger girl who's about 18, 19 something years old. She obviously has like a church t-shirt on. And this is Evie. She's a well-known, like, amongst the youth groups. And she goes, "Oh my gosh, Ollie. Oh, thank goodness you're here. Lauren told me you're going to be coming by today. Look, let's get inside and I'll show you what we need help fixing." And she kind of easily just guides you into the house without you even being able to say much against it. And as you walk into it, you can clearly see that there is some like artwork on the wall, but some of the rooms have been cut off in a way, like they have tarp or drape in front of them, and they have placards above each of them that essentially say what that room is.
Can I get some clarity real quick?
Yeah.
That girl killed herself inside of this house?
Yes.
And everything's already, like, just going on?
As far as you can tell.
That's weird.
It is.
Well, I'm unsettled.
Evie keeps pushing you into the house and guiding you to a room. And in particular, the room itself is the room that supposedly Kelly had killed herself in. And you can barely notice anything in this room. It looks like everything has been fairly cleaned. It's what this room is apparently it's supposed to represent greed and how people need to make sure that they give. Evie kind of explains this and goes, it's this whole thing where people come in and they learn they shouldn't keep their money to themselves and that they should help the poor, and let alone almost make sure that they pay their tithings to the church. And basically what we want to do is we want to have this like money symbol that slowly like rises down from the roof. We have it somewhat rigged up here, and she kind of shows you this contraption that they've kind of put together, and it's bad. It does not look very good. It's very cheaply made with whatever material that they managed to scrounge up for it.
Well, Evie, I heard a lot of noise when I came in here. Is that what this Rube Goldberg device is?
Oh, no. I think Franklin's in the other room. He's working on hell right now. He's trying to like build up the different like boulders and stuff.
Can I ask you something, Evie?
Yeah, Ollie. Yeah.
Do you find it odd that all this is going on now when someone killed themselves from this room?
It was a terrible thing, and it's a shame that was the decision she made. But this is a really big deal for the church, and this could help us bring in a lot more followers to Christ if we manage to pull this off. And I feel like I feel like this is the best for everyone. I know Kelly would have wanted, she's always worked hard. She worked so hard on this place. I think it would mean a lot to her if you were to help us out here. And don't you find it weird that you're standing here right now when you should have been facing a harsher prison sentence? Can you give me a sanity roll as she says that?
$26.
And what is your sanity at? It's at the top of the sheet there.
70.
Okay. So you passed. She looks at you as if it's not her that just said the last part of that sentence. And all of a sudden you kind of see her just kind of like shake her head, and she goes, so yes, Ollie, if you could definitely help us out with this contraption, that would be the best.
What did you just say?
I was saying, you know, we need your help with lowering this dollar down for the greed room.
All right.
Okay, great. And she kind of like gets you like a ladder and maybe whatever tools that they have around the house. And as you see her walk away, she lets you start to get to work on this thing, this rigging or whatever. You could have swore that you could see a shadowy figure over in a corner of a room as she walks past it. But then you blink your eyes and it's not there anymore. Pause. As we come to our fair deputy, who has managed to stop at the precinct. What would you like to do?
Is it busy at this time, or is it just the usual kind of...
Because it's midday, most of the guys are probably out, except for Marjorie, who's working the front desk. It's a very elderly woman who is severely overweight, and she's driving around in a rascal most of the time. She has smoked a lot of cigarettes in her life, so her voice is very raspy as she sits there and she greets you. Hello there, Deputy Martinez.
Hey, Marge, I'm just going to grab a few things from the office, and then I'm heading back out to the Hell House.
Okay, well, you know, if you're out and about, could you maybe pick me up a pack of smokes?
I don't think I'm making my way back here, but if I do, I'll grab you some.
Thank you, darling. I appreciate you. And she kind of goes back to whatever paperwork that she has on this desk, and you can kind of hear her start to answer some of the dispatch calls.
Yeah, I want to stop at Sheriff Weaver's office.
Okay. Make a stealth roll for me, and I'm going to have Marjorie roll something here.
24. 30 is my stealth.
So you succeeded. Okay. She did not succeed as well as you did. She's too busy. She's messing with stuff as far as like the dispatcher and whatnot goes. Maybe the radio starts to fumble with it. So you're able to very easily get into Sheriff Weaver's office.
I want to find the Kelly Landrum file.
Walk over to a filing cabinet where he keeps most of his files. And as you do, you flip through it and you see a folder that's clearly labeled Kelly Landrum.
I grab another folder and I switch the contents of the files. And I stick the Kelly Landrum back in, and I take that file of the unknown person I randomly grabbed.
Okay. And what do you want to do with this paperwork?
I'm going to walk to the locker room.
Okay.
And, in my locker room, I'm going to grab my bag, put the file in there. And as I do, I will pop out a pill bottle, and I take one. I head out.
You make your way past, and Margie is not even paying attention to you. She's got too much going on. She's probably smoking her 8th cigarette within an hour, and you walk out the door and you head towards your cruiser. Head over to the, I'm assuming, the Hell House.
Yeah. I say goodbye to Marge, and I hop in the car. When I hop in the car, I'll take a brief look at the contents inside the file.
It's a pretty standard police file. It's, shows Kelly's photo, like a photo that was probably provided by her family, obviously Mitch. And you also notice some crime scene photos or photos of the incident where it clearly shows her body on the ground and a bloody knife in one of the other photos. I'm going to need you to make a sanity roll for me, please. Yeah.
49.
What's your sanity?
35.
Yeah, it's traumatizing.
Yeah.
This is someone you cared about, and you're seeing these photos and it's affecting you. We'll have you lose 1 point of sanity there, so you'll go down to 34 for seeing this. Clearly upset by this, but as you start to read over the police file, it feels like Sheriff Weaver took over this case very quickly. And one of the other deputies is listed on there, but then very quickly you can see Sheriff Weaver has made a couple notes where he's talking about how, like, it's very weird how this was done, but, as far as everything that is presented, it needs to be presented as a suicide. It's very quick how this is done. There's no, like, moving her body to a coroner or examiner. There's also nothing about, at the Hell House that they had installed, like, cameras and stuff for security reasons, and also generally just to, keep an eye on where people were so that way they weren't overloading certain rooms with folks. But there's no mention of that whatsoever. No footage pulled, no nothing. But then the last thing that you see is a photo that's there. A photo that you had sent to you anonymously. You look at the second page there for me.
Mm-hmm.
This was written out on the wall in the room that Kelly was at, and it was apparently written in her own blood. Can you please read it?
This is Satan's house. You cannot drive out Satan. You can call to God, but God will not help you because Satan killed him. Satan owns this house and everyone in it. This is Satan's house. Satan has a plan for us all. Satan is always with us and within us. He is fire and the serpent and the devil and the darkness and all our bad thoughts. This is Satan's house, and it is too late to leave.
And you see that was written in her blood, apparently, but that the sheriff kind of dismisses it as someone who might possibly had relapsed because of her past history and wrote that in some sort of maybe drug-fueled state, but then quickly just goes back to saying that this is very obviously a suicide. And that's what's written in the paperwork.
As traumatizing as it is, can I look back at the photos to inspect to see if I see any drugs in the photos?
As clearly as you can see, it's just her body there and this knife that she used to do this to herself. And that's it. There were no drugs found on the scene. But obviously, because of how quickly this was getting ruled as a suicide, there's no toxicology report done. There was no coroner examination, no nothing. It was very quickly passed off by the sheriff that this was a suicide.
So I feel pretty uneasy about it, and I think I know what the rest that's in here, so I put it away and I head to the Hell House.
Pause. To jump over to you. Are you heading over to the house?
I'm getting into my very shitty car to make my way there. I'm still pretty close to the Hell House, but I don't want anybody to know that I'm going. But I definitely want to see more clues as to what happened in there. Because I know there's more that I don't know.
Okay. I'll say you start to drive towards it. But instead of taking the main road that most people would, you kind of look up, obviously maybe on your phone that there's an alternate path you could take that would move you around the road and would take you more into the edge of the property itself. to where there's like foresty like areas and stuff. And as you do that, you're able to easily find a spot where you can kind of park your car hidden away from a lot of people, let alone anyone who is at the house.
That's the route I'm gonna take. I want to be as stealthy as possible.
Okay. You do that very easily. And what I want you to do is as soon as you finish parking your car, I want you to give me a spot hidden roll, please.
I rolled a 14.
Okay. Did you succeed? How well did you succeed?
I'm under 65, so that's a success.
Okay. You park your car, very easily let the engine settle and stuff, and you kind of get out and you can see the house that's a good couple of yards away from you from where you are. And you can see people starting to like move in and out of the house. They're working on it. They're painting, doing some sort of construction on it. And then at some point you possibly see a police cruiser pull up as well too. And you see the same deputy that you saw at the funeral before, who had kind of talked to the sheriff a couple times. But you're hiding behind these trees. And as you're hiding behind these trees, this scent starts to hit you. And you can't tell what it is. But then you recognize it almost immediately. It smells like gasoline, kerosene. It's very heavy. And as you do, you look around to see where this possibly might be coming from, and you can see what looks to be like a guy in his early 20s who's standing a good bit farther away from you, and he's looking directly at the Hell House, holding his phone up, and he's taking pictures with it. And as you kind of make your way towards him, the smell gets stronger.
Oh my God, that's freaking strong. I think they're about to blow a gas line.
And you see that he's kind of oblivious to this, as you can see him kind of like still taking pictures, and he's kind of mumbling to himself as he keeps looking at the house. What would you like to do?
I want to get closer to the house and understand where this leak is coming from, because this guy might get blown to hell.
It feels like as you get closer, the smell is from where he is at, standing in this forest.
Oh my God. I'm going to confront him because he is pouring gasoline on the ground.
Okay, how do you confront him?
I throw a rock.
You can throw a rock at him.
I throw a rock to knock him out.
Okay. Okay. Can you roll throw for me, please?
Oh, yeah.
It's the first time I probably have ever had a throw roll.
As a woman, we have to navigate. Let's see. All right, I've rolled a 19, and that was under 79?
79.
I failed. I suck at throwing. Fuck.
You pick up this rock, and you very easily try to you're going to throw it like a baseball, but somehow you manage to skip it across the ground as it barely goes a couple feet and then falls into the ground and just clanks off of it. But this guy can hear it as it bangs off the ground. He turns around and he goes, hello? Who's there? Look, I'm just kind of, sightseeing. You can come out. I'm not going to hurt you or anything.
Hey, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to find my way to the Hell House. Is this it? I was just at the funeral for Kelly, and she was a friend of mine. He was a friend of mine, and I just wanted to help any way I could. I'm sorry I startled you. I just wanted to see how I could help.
I mean, that's the house right there, but you really want to work at that place?
I mean, I don't know much about it. I just want to help. It's their time of need.
Well, you shouldn't. It's Pastor Weaver's abomination, and I don't appreciate it at all. And it is a symbol of everything that is wrong with this town right now.
Wait, so you're against the pastor as well?
Yes. For my own personal reasons, I'm against the pastor.
Would you be willing to tell me a little bit more about what you know about him? He doesn't sit right with me.
What do you mean, tell you a little bit more?
Well, you seem to know a little bit more, and I feel like everyone's a little bit skeptical towards Kelly and the Hell House and how things have happened. And
Are you a cop or something?
No. No. I'm an ex-journalist, and I'm actually here to find out what happened to Kelly because she died while she was working for me.
Wait. Okay. I mean, yeah, if it'll help in some way paint this horrible abomination in its horrible light that it's trying to represent, then yes, I will talk to you about this. Little clarification, Kelly wasn't the one working for you. That's someone else. He kind of looks at you and he just goes, I mean, whatever I can do to help. I just want this place closed down. I just want it to burn. Can you give me a sanity roll, please, as he says that?
How far away are they from me?
The tree line of this forest is a good ways back. Like, it's at the very edge of this property. Okay. It's a very big field and everything. What I can do is, if you want, you can give me a spot hidden roll.
I thought maybe I might have saw her throw the rock, but if I'm the...
Nope.
Yeah, I'll do a spot hidden roll.
Okay, so because they're a little bit into the tree line and behind some trees and stuff doing this, you can roll spot hidden, but I need you to try to get under the middle number.
Under the middle
spot hidden. Please.
Oh baby, an 8.
Oh my gosh. Okay, give me a second. What did you roll for your sanity? It's the top of the sheet there.
43. Still under 55.
Yeah. So it's a little upsetting, but then you see him kind of shake it off and he goes, I just want that place closed down. It's like as if he didn't even say the part about him wanting it to burn.
I think I could help you do that.
Okay, yeah, I can do whatever you can. As you're kind of getting out of your car and you're just kind of scanning around, you can see off in the distance, there is this guy that's there that you've never seen before around the house, let alone the church. And then you also see her talking to him. And they're both kind of just like looking at the house and then kind of going back to talking to each other. What would you like to do?
I'm kind of going on it, assuming that there is ruffians. That's the reason why the sheriff asked me to come look at it. I'm gonna walk up there and be like, hey.
Pause for me as you're making your way across the field. What are you saying to him?
I found some information that I think someone's coming. Fuck, it's the deputy. We can't tell him anything.
What do you mean the deputy?
He doesn't know what we know. He only knows that it was a suicide. They believe it's a suicide.
Well, I've met Kelly before. She's a very nice girl. She wouldn't have done something like that. That's all I'm saying. And there's no way that this could probably...
Hey! What are you doing up here?
I just doing a...
What's that smell?
We were wondering the same thing. We think there might be some kind of leak coming from the house.
And who are you?
Hi. No, I'm Sarah. I actually just came from the funeral procession earlier.
I saw you. You were drinking. In fact, I would like to see some ID for both of you.
Yeah, of course, officer. And he takes out his ID and he hands it to you, and it says Bradley Kohler on it. Can you do me a favor too? Can you give me a spot hidden roll again, please, as you're standing there with him?
14.
Okay. As you're standing there, kind of taking his ID and looking at him, over to behind him, what catches your eye is you kind of catch a small glint of something. It's a couple feet away into the forest a little bit, but it looks like a piece of tarp covering something.
Do I smell the gasoline on him?
You do.
It smells. I think that's probable cause. I feel like I need, for my safety, I'm gonna put you in handcuffs. You're not under arrest.
What are you talking about, officer?
Whoa. He was here when I was here, officer. I
I'm
can
conducting
vouch
an
for that.
investigation. Would you like to go down for impeding my investigation?
No, officer.
I'm gonna have a conversation with you here in a second. Please give me a minute while I conduct this. Don't leave.
Wait, am I under arrest or something? What did I do?
No, you're not under arrest. I smell gasoline on you. That is giving me probable cause to place you in handcuffs as I conduct my investigation. Place him in handcuffs.
As you start to do that, he is going to lurch away from you and start to run away into the forest. So what I would like to do to see if you even get a handcuff on him is let's do a dexterity roll, and I'm going to have him do a dexterity roll as well too. Okay. What did you roll?
22.
22. Okay. You definitely rolled better than him. You managed to get a handcuff on him, but he's starting to try to like pull away from you in like a panic. Officer, I don't understand what you're putting me under arrest for. I didn't do anything.
Just sit down and relax for a second. I'm just conducting an investigation.
Okay, I need persuasion, please.
Not good. 89.
Okay. I'm going to say you kind of do this in a more forceful manner, and he's obviously very freaked out about this more, even though you're trying to calm him down, and you manage to get the other cuff on him. And I'm assuming, what are you doing? Are you having him sit on his butt?
Yeah, I'm going to try and have him sit on his butt.
So he sits down on the ground, and he's kind of looking at you, panicked. Officer, I've done nothing wrong. All I was doing was taking photos of the house. I don't know why this is necessary. You don't have to arrest me.
So now that he's on the ground, I'm now going to walk over to the tarp.
Officer, I can tell you that I just got here, and no more than 5 minutes ago, we were chatting about Kelly's memory.
Okay, stop. Why are you here then?
At the church.
Okay, fine. You're at Kelly's funeral. Now
Yeah.
You're here.
And I was asked back here.
Give me a second. Just let me do my investigation. In fact,
I'm trying to tell you.
Okay. I'm placing you as impeding my investigation, and I'm going to put my extra pair of handcuffs. Do I have 2 pairs?
Yeah.
I'm going to put her in handcuffs
I'm being
as well.
perfectly compliant with you.
Apparently you're not. The fact that you're arguing with me. Look, I don't trust you as it is. I watched you drink. You're at Kelly's funeral. I don't know who you are.
Listen,
She's
sorry.
a journalist, officer. She was just talking to me about something.
Great.
I know journalists don't get the best rap around here.
Yeah,
Listen,
well,
I get it.
I wonder why. I place her in handcuffs.
Listen, I'm sorry that
Just
I lied.
sit down.
I have
Stop.
something that I think you'd be interested in seeing. Would you just give me a second?
Oh, you got a second.
Please?
Go.
I know you were wondering who I am, and I was able to sneak into Pastor's office during the funeral.
Again, with these people telling me the crimes they've committed. What is happening today?
It was an open door. There was no lock. I know the legal workarounds for these things. It doesn't matter. What matters is that I have cracked the code on what really happened to Kelly. And I know you come from this town. I know you know everybody here. And you know Kelly. And you know she wouldn't do it. She wouldn't kill herself. I'm willing to stake my entire career on this. Just look
Didn't
at the
you say
accounting
you were an
files.
ex-journalist? I think your career's already... You don't have much gambling there. Okay.
Just
So I take the
listen
pa-
to me.
I take
Just
the
listen to what I'm telling you.
Okay.
Where?
Spot hidden rolls, please.
39.
98.
Okay. You're so enraptured in talking to him about this, trying to provide this evidence to him, you don't notice as you see Bradley has stood back up and you sense his presence behind you very easily, and you can see him raising his hands, getting ready to hit you behind your head. How do you want to react to that?
Do I want to fight him or do I have a gun? I could just... That's always a good... I'm going to whip out my gun.
That's what cops do.
Hey.
All right.
I'll say you're able to do it fast enough to where he freezes and he goes, officer,
Sit your ass down.
okay. And he sits back down in front of you.
Okay.
I don't want to cause trouble.
Yeah, well, you're doing enough. And,
I don't...
just give me a fucking second. Do me a favor. Go see what's underneath that tarp over there, and then we'll look at your whatever evidence there is.
I'm a journalist. I'm not
I
in
don't
CSI.
give a shit.
Fine.
You pull up the tarp, and some of the leaves kind of fall off this tarp that was clearly used to kind of camouflage whatever this was. And as you pull it back, the smell of gasoline is so much stronger now that you can see close to it's like 20 cans of gasoline that are sitting there. And you look over to Bradley, and Bradley's kind of looking at you with like a blank stare. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I think you know exactly what that is. All right, you're coming with me, bud.
Officer, there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for all this.
Yeah, you can tell me about it when we get back to my car.
He stops, looks you dead in your eyes, and says, "It just wants it to burn."
What wants it to burn?
Satan wants this house to burn. And with that, we will end the very first episode of Hell in Texas. Thank you so very much for watching. We hope that you enjoy this, and we will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.